to lower your voice, nowhere to go. Tune in for the infamous morning show, giving the news that you need to know. So don't you dare miss a wake-up call. Then in the evening, I got all for y'all. Eat your dose of daily vitamins. You know the queen makes it make sense. So true.
Beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power. An unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us, how it's gonna be. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights.
Do you jigger man, do you get cold? I wanna know. When you cock hold, jigger, do you get cold? When the baby pulling up and your woman's in his face, I wanna know. When you cock hold, jigger, do you get cold? I wanna know. Respectfully, yes. What the hell are you waiting for? Your downfall. Jigger man, do you get cold?
Now that was funny. All right, so hello everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. So let's get ready to get into it. Okay, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr_A_Shakur, Twitter at DGoddess27. Okay, and as per usual, if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do. All right, Junior Thorpe is here. The mean girl is in the house, Nubian Cutie. All right, Cookie, Jeff ATL, Priscilla, Buckhorse DC, Desmond. All right, let's get into it. Priscilla is here. G from the land, Deronda. Shout out to my moderators putting in work. I see you, Mama Joycelyn. All right. Everyone hit that like button. I see you, We the People, 504 Nola, Anita Harrell, Pretty Wings. All right, just anticipate. Claudette is here. Let's get into a Truth Brown's in the house. Okay, likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Hey, Queen Sam. It's the least you can do. That crazy beach Aries. Okay, so let's get into it. Y'all, 50 Cent is out here being petty again. Y'all know he couldn't help himself. Y'all know he just couldn't resist. So I'm going to share my screen. Because first of all, now 50's talking about some family ties, okay? So it looks like Lil Meech used to date Rick Ross's daughter back in the day. And so now 50's brought that up. But also, let me go to this edited video that he reposted on his social media. I'm going to share my screen. Now, this is Big Meech responding, as I showed you guys on yesterday, but this is an edited version of it that I guess 50 thought was funny, and he felt the need to repost it with his petty self.
Meech, I know you just got out, big bro. I got you, because that nigga 50 Cent a lame ass nigga, and you ain't internet savvy yet. So look, off top, these the family rules, Meech. Listen, think before you speak, Meech, okay? Then have some patience, Meech. Just chill. Don't rush nothing. Don't worry. I got that nigga 50 for you, Meech. Just chill. Then listen. At the end, we're going to laugh together, Meech. You feel me? We're going to help one another out, and we're going to enjoy life. So you ready to get this nigga, Meech?
I wasn't going to address this because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before the time, always with me.
All right, Meech, that's real good. We're going to go ahead and holler at Super Ray, DM him, do a collab post, send him a couple hundred. He going to let everybody know what's going on, Meech, all right? The part of the show must go on.
50 is something else. Okay, first of all, Meech sounded so forlorn in that video. He sounded like it almost made him want to cry to have to say those words that he was clearly reading, in my opinion. So anyway, 50 Cent rips Big Meech for doing nothing for Lil Meech while he made BMF family $5 million. And so 50 Cent is keeping his foot on Big Meech's neck, accusing him of being a bad father to Lil Meech and even flexing his son's jewelry. This is all a hot mess. Please pay attention. 50 Cent is refusing to back down from his feud with Demetrius Big Meech Flannery and is now calling the Black Mafia family co-founder ungrateful and accusing him of leaving his son Lil Meech to fend for himself while he spent nearly 20 years behind bars for selling illegal substances and money laundering. Now, on Wednesday morning, February the 12th, the G-Unit boss hopped on Instagram with a reminder that Lil Meech used to date Rick Ross's daughter, Toy Roberts, back in the day. Like I said, 50 is being so petty. Okay, y'all, please pay attention. And I guess he's trying to say that this is why they have some type of bond with Rick Ross. Hold on, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to not play the audio because there's music playing in the background. Now, these are some pictures of Lil Meech and Rick Ross's daughter. Not trying to be funny, but Lil Meech looks feminine there. He looks like a stud in these pictures. He looks like a stud, quite frankly. So anyway. So yeah, so he said they used to date, and well, let's continue. Excuse me. He slammed the former kingpin in the caption, claiming that he failed to look out for his son. Why old boy didn't look out for me? Okay, and me sending him to acting school, big screech, he began. Okay, all your people that was out did nothing for him. 50 Cent said he's the one who sent him to acting school. Furthermore, 50 Cent blasted Big Meech for showing ingratitude towards the money he raised for his family and for jeopardizing Lil Meech's future on BMF. You come home thinking you the big Pablo Escobar and effed him up. This is what 50 said. I helped your family make over $5 million, legit dollars. It's not my fault it's all gone. Wait a minute, it's all gone? What the hell did they do with $5 million? But let me continue. Rubbing salt in the wound, Fifth then alleged that Meech was posted up wearing his son's ice, demanding, "Bitch, give the baby back his jewelry." I don't care what you all say. I absolutely love me some 50 Cent. 50 Cent is the best. He is the absolute best, and I'm here for all of it. Tell him 50, low down ingrates. Anyway, goes on to say, Lil Meech extends olive branch to 50 Cent. Despite previously dating his daughter, Lil Meech was ready to ditch Rick Ross after 50 Cent called his father a rat after Big Meech joined forces with Rose, 50's longtime nemesis. F Rick Ross. Y'all know he didn't mean it. He just said that because he didn't know 50 was going to leak his text messages. Nonetheless, the damage had been done as far as 50 Cent was concerned. He fired back saying, what next season, Lil Ninja? You know, after Lil Meech said that Rick Ross gave his father, Big Meech, some money just to tide him over until next season of the show BMF started. 50's like, what next season? So anyway, honey, 50 has continued down this petty road and with no F's given, quite frankly. That's the way it goes. And, you know, this should be a lesson. This should be a lesson for any of you who are out here trying to burn the candle at both ends. Okay, because we see how that turns out. I want you all to think about something. Okay, I want you all to think about this. With the whole thing with Diddy and Biggie Smalls and Tupac. Now just think about it like this. See, this is a prime example, in my opinion, of why you can't burn the candle at both ends, because it's always a recipe for disaster 9 times out of 10. Okay, so look at it like this. Diddy and Biggie were working together. That was his artist. Biggie had previously been friends with Tupac. Tupac and Diddy had a falling out. Diddy started doing low down nefarious things like getting Tupac shot at Quad Studio. Yeah, I believe he did it. Now, this is all allegations, but I absolutely believe that Diddy was behind it. And I also believe that Diddy was behind the murder of Tupac as well as Biggie. But the bottom line here is this. Tupac likely went to his grave thinking that Biggie Smalls had something to do with him getting shot at Quad Studios. Okay? And when he got killed, he probably was thinking that perhaps Biggie and Diddy both had something to do with that too, for all we know. But the bottom line is, I don't think Biggie had anything to do with it. It was all Diddy. But you see, by the fact that Biggie was hanging out with Diddy, okay, that's the main reason why him and Tupac fell out. That's the reason all of that beef got started. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You can't burn the candle at both ends. And now Biggie and Tupac are dead, and Diddy's still here. He's still here. The main devil is still here. The question is, will we get justice for them? Maybe not. Mama Joyce said they could have invested the $5 million. What did they spend it on? Foolishness. I guarantee they spent it on a whole bunch of bullshit that's not even worth anything now, you know, such as clothes and jewelry and stuff like that. That's probably what they spent it on. Like, you know, they should have gone out and bought some real estate, okay? Something they could get equity from. But clearly that's not what they did if they don't have any of the money left. This is all crazy. They probably spent that money partying, having a good time, you know, just doing whatever. So anyway, with that all being said, let's talk about Kanye, because Kanye, it's not going so good for him. Hold on. I'm sorry. No. Do I want to talk about Kanye or Diddy first? Let's talk about Diddy, because Diddy's sons, Christian and Justin, they paid Kanye West a visit, I guess to show their appreciation for him speaking up for Diddy, you know, for him just coming out the bag and speaking up for their father after no one else has bothered to say anything in Diddy's defense. Kanye West meeting with Diddy's sons, Justin and Christian, after rapper's emotional plea. Now, Kanye West has offered his support to his brother Diddy they're brothers now. Please pay attention, family ties. Okay, his brother Diddy after the music mogul was jailed, and he has now met with the star's sons, Justin and Christian Combs. Now, Justin and Christian Combs were spotted visiting Kanye West following his public show of support for their father. Now, Kanye had taken to social media to express his backing for Diddy, whom he referred to as his hero, and called on Donald Trump to secure his release from prison. Now, the founder of Bad Boy Records is currently detained in Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, awaiting trial. So Combs has strongly denied all of the allegations, says he's not guilty. His sons were photographed arriving at Kanye's Los Angeles hotel on the same day the rapper voiced his support for Diddy. I mean, they didn't waste any time, okay? They reached right out. Now, Kanye, who has been residing at the Four Seasons Hotel, gifted Justin and Christian with clothes, with Justin seen carrying the coat Kanye wore when he posted about Diddy. Christian's girlfriend, Raven Tracy, was also present during the visit. Now, this comes after Kanye expressed his support for Combs, referring to the 55-year-old as his hero and hinting at a potential clothing line to raise funds for the embattled music mogul. In a fervent online declaration, Kanye West called on President Donald Trump to liberate Diddy, referring to him as his brother, Puff. Additionally, Kanye announced on X at Yeezy.com, "I'm launching the Sean John collaboration that me and my brother discussed prior to his incarceration. We'll be splitting the profits 50-50. Later, he corrected himself upon realizing Combs is not allowed to make or collect money while he's locked up and opted to forward Diddy's share of the profits to his son, Justin Combs. Now, in a passionate statement, Kanye said, "They're trying to prove a point, and y'all know that. Y'all effing know. Y'all effing know that," and sitting there laughing at the effing internet on the Instagram. Okay, y'all sitting there laughing at the effing stuff on the internet. Now on Instagram, this man gave his life to us. He posted on Instagram saying, "This man gave his life to us. This is my idol. This is my hero." Since when, Kanye? Since when? Because the last I remember was him going in on Diddy and calling him a whole fed. Isn't that what y'all remember? When did Diddy become his hero in all of this? I have a whole lot of questions. Truth Brown said Kanye got allegations against him too. Well, of course he does. Absolutely. Okay, Mama Joyce said, so Kanye just woke up and realized that Diddy is locked up. He's been in jail for months. I guess Kanye is having a Stacey Dash moment. I mean, that's what it seems like, because Diddy has been in jail, okay? So my thing is, and been having all these accusations since 2023. But now you're coming out and saying something and then trying to bash other people who haven't said a word. Yeah, that's all very interesting to me. And so anyway, Sean Diddy Combs' sons were seen visiting Kanye West after the rapper urged the release of their father from prison. This is another article. Okay, I'm not going to get into all of this, but at the end of the day, here's what Kanye did say about Diddy. He was really praising Diddy big time. Okay, Puff is a way better dad than my dad and a way better dad than me. That's what he posted. Wish I had the relationship with my dad that Puff has with his kids. Okay, so with that all being said, he thinks Diddy's a great dad. Well, you know, I'm not going to say, I mean, it does look like Diddy loves his children, but let's just keep it a buck. At the end of the day, if Diddy was such a good father, he wouldn't have allowed his sons to be around his alleged illicit and illegal activities, nor would he have had them engaging in the same things that he was engaging in, allegedly, or that he's alleged to have engaged in. Let's not forget that Christian Combs has a lawsuit against him too from Grace Omar Craig, who claims that he assaulted her aboard a yacht that Diddy chartered. Okay, so I don't know about him being such a good father. But anyway, I digress. Now, back to Kanye, because now they're saying that Kanye's talent agency has dropped him after those nefarious anti-Semitic and pro-Diddy remarks that he made just days ago. Kanye was dropped by his talent agency following the controversial rapper's meltdown on social media over the weekend, now which included selling a swastika t-shirt, making a string of anti-Semitic remarks, and posting several pornographic with a P videos to his feed. He did that? He posted pornographic videos? Clearly nefarious. Now, Danielle McCartney, who works as a talent agent at 33 and West, said in an Instagram story on Monday that effective immediately, he would not be representing West due to his harmful and hateful remarks that myself nor 33 and West can stand for. A team member from Yeezy also left. West's one-time chief of staff, Eric Coy quit on Sunday. Okay, and it came shortly after West defended Sean Diddy Combs for physically abusing his ex-girlfriend Cassandra Casaventura, posting screenshots of the hotel surveillance video that showed Combs attacking her, saying, "I loved working at Yeezy because I believed in your dream." This is what the guy who quit wrote. Okay, he said this in a statement on Instagram. He said, "I believe in free speech, so I will use my free speech to say that violence and crimes against women and children is wrong." West kicked off his tweeting spree on Thursday night, unleashing a stream of vile and offensive posts over the next few days. And he later praised and thanked Elon Musk for allowing him to vent freely without being kicked off the social media platform. Kanye is absolutely nefarious. Okay, what is going on with him? Now, the tipping point came when West purchased airtime during the Super Bowl on Sunday night, in which he directed viewers to his Yeezy website, where he was selling a $20 white t-shirt that displayed a swastika. He's really pushing the envelope. I don't know what really is going on here, but it's not going to turn out good for him. Now, on Tuesday, a Shopify spokesperson confirmed to Rolling Stone the company had pulled down his website for violating its terms. The same day, West was sued by a former Yeezy staffer who claimed that West targeted and taunted her because she was Jewish. West deactivated his X, formerly Twitter account, on Monday. He says, "I'm logging out of Twitter. It has been very..." Oh my goodness, it has been very cathartic to use the world as a sounding board. It was like an ayahuasca trip. You all know what that is. That's that psychedelic plant that Jada Pinkett claims that she uses to give her a euphoric high and all that stuff. He said it's like that kind of trip. Love all of you who gave me your energy and attention. Yeah, and that's what I told you all days ago. The Kanye West just wanted attention. You know, Beyonce and Jay-Z were upset and supposedly thinking that he was trying to upstage her on Grammy night. But no, I don't think he was trying to just upstage her specifically. I think he was just trying to upstage everybody because that's what he does. He wants to always have the attention on him and Bianca. And quite frankly, he's an attention whore. Now, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But in other news, Macy's called Diddy an equal opportunity sexual predator. Okay, in a bid to be dropped from the sexual lawsuit. Okay, they want the judge to remove them, and we've talked about this before. They must still be trying to get removed from that lawsuit or what have you. Okay, I thought they had already been removed, quite frankly. Mr. Combs denies the entirely false and salacious claims against him in the complaint and is confident that he and the company defendants, against whom no misconduct or participation is even alleged, would be fully vindicated in this case if this case were to proceed to trial. His dismissal motion, this is what his dismissal motion said. Now, District Court Judge J. Paul Atkins' decision on whether to dismiss Macy could come at any time. A decision on Combs' dismissal bid is not due until sometime after the plaintiff responds. Macy is the deepest pocket defendant by far in any of the blizzard of more than 30 sexual assaults filed against the rapper in the past year. Now, the plaintiff said in his lawsuit that at the time of the alleged attack, he was working at Macy's flagship Manhattan store for Echo, a rival hip-hop fashion brand to Combs' Sean John clothing. Now, we all remember that because it was a 19-page lawsuit, which I read to you, and I talked about how the young man claims that he was taken to the stock house or the warehouse in the stock room by Diddy and a couple of Diddy's bodyguards or goons, and they had guns, and he was afraid, and Diddy pretty much made him taste the cucumber with his low down dirty self. And I absolutely believe Diddy did it because this isn't the first man to say something like this. And just think about it. I mean, this has to be humiliating to admit something like that. Okay, especially if you're heterosexual. Okay, that's just my opinion. That had to be embarrassing to admit to. So Super Chucky B said, Queen, I noticed you cut my favorite song. You don't play it anymore. Which one is that, beloved? It's not that I don't play it anymore, whichever one it is. I probably just haven't gotten around to it. Okay, now let's talk about Elon Musk, because you guys, Elon Musk was in the Oval Office yesterday. He was in the Oval Office yesterday having a meeting, which I thought was very interesting because I'm like, why the hell is Elon having a meeting in the Oval Office? Who is he? Okay, who is he? I found it all interesting. But before we get into it, I'm going to show you all the footage in a moment. But before we get into that, let's talk about this. So these dudes that he has working, okay, here they are. These are the people that work for Doge. Now I want you all to pay attention. These are his employees who work for Doge. Okay. Now I find this all very interesting because they look young as hell. Okay. They look young as hell. Look at them. The oldest one is 25. The oldest one is 25 years old. All right. And that's him at the top. And then this one down here that's 19. He needs to sit down somewhere. And then they called one of these, this one right here with the glasses on. I believe they said he's an expert. An expert at what? Because I have several questions. Okay. But anyway, let me share my screen so you all can see this video and hear what Elon had to say while he was in the Oval Office yesterday. And mind you, now I'm going to skip past some of this because it's like 30 minutes long. But mind you, while he was there, he had his son with him. Now, I want you all to think about this for a second. And they were like, oh, his adorable son and this, that, and the third and all the little reports or whatnot. But had that been a person of my skin tone, okay, who had brought a child to that office, they would have been saying that is so ghetto. Okay, that is so inappropriate. You can only imagine what they'd have been saying. Please pay attention.
So thank you very much. We had a busy day today. The king just left, and we've had a great discussion, terrific discussion concerning Gaza and everything else. We had discussions also about Saturday at 12 o'clock. It's going to be a big moment. We'll see what happens. I don't expect much happening with these people, but we'll see what happens. And we're going to be signing a very important deal today. It's Doge. And I'm going to ask Elon to tell you a little bit about it and some of the things that we found, which is shocking. Billions and billions of dollars in waste, fraud, and abuse. And I think it's very important. And that's one of the reasons I got elected. I said, we're going to do that. Nobody had any idea it was that bad, that sick, and that corrupt. And it seems hard to believe that judges want to try and stop us from looking for corruption, especially when we found hundreds of millions of dollars worth, much more than that, in just a short period of time. We want to weed out the corruption. And it seems hard to believe that a judge could say, we don't want you to do that. Well, so maybe we have to look at the judges because that's a very serious, I think it's a very serious violation. I'll ask Elon.
Now, I want you all to pay attention because also remember there was a Doge worker who resigned after some racist messages he posted came out. This is him right here. His name is Mark Elise. And so basically, it was J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. His name is Marco Elise. Now, it was J.D. Vance and Donald Trump who both called for this guy to be rehired. Okay, please pay attention. They want him rehired, even though he said that he was racist before it was cool and talked about hating on Indians. Let's make Indian hate normal. That's what he said. I want y'all to pay attention.
Musk to say a few words, and we'll take some questions. Elon, go ahead.
Sure. So the at a high level, you say, what is the goal of Doge, and I think a significant part of this the presidency is to restore democracy. This may seem like, well, aren't we in a democracy? Well, if you don't have a feedback loop, okay, we'd have to, if you sorry, so tell you gravitas can be difficult sometimes. If there's not a good feedback loop from the people to the government, and if you have rule of the bureaucrat, if the bureaucracy is in charge, and then what meaning does democracy actually have? If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House, then we don't live in a democracy. We live in a bureaucracy. So it's incredibly important that we close that feedback loop, we fix that feedback loop, and that the public's elected representatives, the president, the House, and the Senate, decide what happens, as opposed to a large unelected bureaucracy. This is not to say that there are good people who are in the federal bureaucracy, but you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that is responsive to the people. That's the whole point of a democracy. And if you looked at this, if you looked at the founders today and said, what do you think of the way things have turned out? Well, we have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want. and it's not. It does not match the will of the people. So
Elon does not sound very intellectual, in my opinion. Mama Joycelyn says there's no babysitter for the kid. Is it bring your kid to work day? I mean, apparently, you know, I have several questions because he's a billionaire, supposedly the richest man in the world. Honey, you couldn't find a babysitter for that bad arch little boy. Queen Sam said he can't speak either. What in the hell is this dry ass word salad? Okay, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But let's keep listening.
it's just something we've got to fix. And then we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got a $2 trillion deficit. And if we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt. I mean, it's really astounding that the interest payments alone on the national debt exceed the Defense Department budget, which is shocking because we spend a lot of money on defense. But and if that just keeps going, we're essentially going to bankrupt the country. So what I really want to say is, like, it's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential. It's essential for America to remain solvent as a country, and it's essential for America to have the resources necessary to provide things to its citizens and not simply be servicing vast amounts of debt.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, 100.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about 30 million,
right,
etc.?
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened at USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it.
Listen, you guys, what in the hell is Elon even talking about? Okay, does any of this, what he's saying, make a bit of sense? Like, this is worse word salad than what y'all said Kamala was doing. Please pay attention. And TC Dan said it, his word salad is almost worse than Kamala. It is. It absolutely is. Like, this is all crazy. But let's keep listening. Maybe he'll say something beneficial at some point.
So, we're looking at, we just, if you look at, say Treasury, for example, basic controls that should be in place, that are in place in any company, such as making sure that any given payment has a payment categorization code, that there is a comment field that describes the payment, and that if a payment is on the do not pay list, that you don't actually pay it. None of those things are true currently. So the reason that departments can't pass audits is because the payments don't have a categorization code. It's like just a massive number of blank checks just flying out the building. So you can't reconcile blank checks. You've got comment fields that are also blank, so you don't know why the payment was made. And then we've got this truly absurd, a do not pay list, which can take up to a year for an organization to get on a do not pay list. And this, we're talking about terrorist organizations, we're talking about known fraudsters, known aspects of waste, known things that do not match any congressional appropriation, can take up to a
Hey, you guys, Elon just said out of his mouth that we're talking about known fraudsters. Now, he said that as if that's not exactly what he and Trump themselves are. Okay, they're known fraudsters, but let's keep listening.
a year to get on the list, and even once on the list is not used. It's mind-blowing. So what we're talking about here, we're really just talking about adding common sense controls that should be present, that haven't been present. So you say, like, well, how could such a thing arise? That seems crazy. When you understand that really everything is geared towards complaint minimization, so that then you understand the motivations. So if people receive money, they don't complain, obviously. But if people don't receive money, they do complain. And the fraudsters complain the loudest and the fastest. So then when you understand that, then it makes sense. Oh, that's why everything just, they approve all the payments at Treasury. Because if you approve all the payments, you don't get complaints.
Yeah, that's right. Pretty Wing says Trump asked him to talk about a lady and he has yet to do so. That's right. Damn it, Elon, get to the point. I want to know what in the hell this lady did with the $30 million and why was it given to her in the first place? That could have been my reparations for all I know. Get to the freaking point.
But now we're saying that, no, actually, we are going to complain. If money is spent badly, if your taxpayer dollars are not spent in a sensible and frugal manner, then that's not okay. Your tax dollars need to be spent wisely on things that matter to the people. I mean, these things, like, it's just common sense. It's not draconian or radical. I think it's really just saying, let's look at each of these expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people? And if it is, it's approved. If it's not, we should think about it. So, there's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone who's 150? I don't. Okay, they should be on the Guinness Book of World.
Retro Chris says, how is Elon a fraud? How is he a fraud? You didn't hear how he didn't give the proper information to those Tesla investors, amongst other things. That's just one.
Records. They're missing out. So, that's a case where, like, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous, one of the two. And then there's a whole bunch of Social Security payments where there's no identifying information. Well, like, why is there no identifying information? Obviously, we want to make sure that people who deserve to receive Social Security do receive it, and that they receive it quickly and accurately. I'll tell you another crazy thing. So, one of the things is, like, we are trying to sort of right-size the federal bureaucracy, just make sure that this, obviously, there needs to be a lot of people.
Retro Chris says Elon made his money legitimately, not like your Democrat mommy and daddies. Whose Democrat mommy and daddies are you talking about, honey? At the end of the day, hold on, I got something for you. And then we're going to put you up out of here. Because you got us effed up.
Funky dog head, bitch. How dare you try to tarnish my motherfucking
Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur
reputation, punk motherfucker. Respect the
Royals.
And back off, bitch, before we come get you.
And that's on box.
Funky dog.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you need to sit down somewhere, honey. But let's continue.
Working for the federal government, but not as many as currently. So we're saying, well, okay, well, let's, if people can retire, with full benefits and everything, that would be good. They can retire, get their retirement payments, everything. And then we were told, this is actually, I think, a great anecdote, because we were told the most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a mine. And like, what do you mean a mine? Like, yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And you look at a picture of this mine. We'll post some pictures afterwards. And this mine looks like something out of the 50s because it was started in 1955. So it looks like it's like a time warp. And then the speed, then the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move determines how many people can retire from the federal government. And the elevator breaks down and then sometimes, and then nobody can retire.
Okay, are y'all done? Are y'all tired of listening to that? Because I am. Okay, after all of that time wasted, Elon ain't talking about nothing as far as I'm concerned, okay? Not talking about a damn thing. And to add insult to injury, the little nasty Doge employee who said some racist things, well, Marco Elise, he resigned last Thursday after he was linked to some racist post Okay, and but JD Vance as well as Trump wanted him rehired, as I said. And I find that interesting specifically because JD Vance's wife is Indian and his children are half Indian. And he clearly said normalize Indian hate. So Musk to rehire Treasury Doge staffer behind racist post after Trump endorses idea. So they want him to come back, honey. I want y'all to pay attention. But meanwhile, they want to cause problems in South Africa because people who stole land are not allowed to keep land that they in fact stole. Yeah, I find that all interesting. Okay, I find that all interesting. Jay Center said DEI hire. Okay. Anyway, with that all being said, I'm about to be out of here, but let's talk about inflation real quick because that's of importance. Okay, inflation has actually picked up. And this is after Trump promised that he was going to rapidly bring down prices. Y'all remember that? Because I do. Okay, I do. Now, according to Consumer Price Index, according to reports, Consumer Price Index rose by 3% in January, as President Trump has yet to fulfill pledge of tackling high cost of living. Inflation ticked higher in the U.S. in January, and also the closely watched index rose 0.5% on a month-to-month basis, stronger than the 0.3% forecast by economists. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. Giggle says Elon doesn't like that Tesla is required to report all the accidents, the fatal accident especially caused by his self-driving cars. Trump's team wants to scrap that rule. It's all corrupt. It absolutely is. Okay, it absolutely is, beloved. And thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Yeah, and also there's another company or another department that Elon is fooling with, and he, in my opinion, wants to shut them down because they want to regulate X. Okay, they want to regulate X, and he doesn't want that happening. So he wants to get rid of them too. Now, the so-called core index, which strips out volatile food and energy prices, rose from an annualized rate of 3.2% in December to 3.3% in January. Now, Wednesday's data appeared to rattle investors, with Wall Street coming under pressure. Okay, the S&P 500 and Dow Jones Industrial Average were each down by about 1% after New York opened for trading. Now, the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield, a key barometer for U.S. economic expectations, rose to about 4.629%. Inflation soared across much of the world 3 years ago as the pandemic continued to distort the global economy and supply chains. It peaked at 9.1% in the U.S., its highest level in a generation. And so anyway, things are only going to get worse with these tariffs, like I told you guys. That's just what it is. Things are only going to get worse. Okay. Now let's break down what Elon was talking about in that meeting he had at the Oval. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Now, Trump praised Musk's work so far and said that he wants Musk to do more, even as Doge faces lawsuits from labor unions and attorney generals over whether it is acting within the law. Musk wore an all-black Make America, an all black. They have all black, but clearly it was an all black Make America Great Again hat, and had one of his 11 children present for the media briefing. He has 11 children. Whew, that's scary. But let me continue. So for weeks, Musk has railed against what he said is waste, fraud, or abuse within the federal government. But as Trump and Musk took questions from reporters, the two spoke mostly in generalities and did not give details about the alleged fraud that they said Doge had found. Yeah, they didn't give enough specifics for me. That's why I'm like, what are y'all even talking about? Musk also told reporters that it was not a conflict of interest for him to intervene in the operations of the Defense Department, for which his company, SpaceX, is a major contractor. How is that not a conflict of interest? Because he said so? Now, Trump brushed aside a reporter's question about whether he would eventually need congressional approval to cut spending. While Trump ordered Musk to make further cuts to the federal workforce, leadership changes at various agencies were also in motion. Now, the Inspector General at USAID was fired a day after his office released a report detailing the negative impact of the Trump administration's dramatic downsizing of the agency. And 4 FEMA officials were also fired. A Homeland Security spokesperson said this information, claiming that they made egregious payments to luxury New York City hotels for migrants. But Americans are homeless on the streets, American citizens. But anyway, after a meeting with Trump at the White House, Jordan King Abdullah II reiterated his country's and the region's steadfast opposition to the president's plan to resettle millions of Palestinians out of Gaza. Border czar Tom Homan is begging Senate Republicans for more money to carry out Trump's immigration crackdown plans. A federal appeals court rejected the Trump administration's bid to immediately reinstate a massive funding freeze. Many of Trump's early losses over legal challenges to his executive actions and agenda have to do with an obscure yet routinely invoked federal law. Vice President J.D. Vance warned European allies against tightening the screws on U.S. tech companies when it comes to artificial intelligence. Now, the top Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee has accused Kash Patel, Trump's pick for FBI director, of secretly orchestrating the firing of FBI officials. And Emil Booth, the Trump-appointed acting deputy attorney general, is leading a Justice Department effort to identify everyone who worked on January the 6th cases. Some who know him are shocked because Booth himself helped investigate January 6th cases. Honey, these people all sound like they're doing a whole bunch of bull crap. That's what it sounds like. Okay, that's exactly what it sounds like. Now, they're saying that they're trying to fire these people from the FBI. The top Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee has sent a letter to the Justice Department Inspector General accusing Kash Patel, President Trump's pick for FBI director, of secretly orchestrating the firings. Now, saying that if these allegations are true, Mr. Patel may have perjured himself before the Senate Judiciary Committee. Okay, because he testified under oath that he was not aware of any plan to do so. So Durbin said that he had spoken to whistleblowers who told him that Patel has been relaying instructions to White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Stephen Miller, who then relayed Patel's instructions to Acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Booth. He says, I have received highly credible information from multiple sources that Kash Patel has been personally directing the ongoing purge of career civil servants at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This is what Durbin said in a letter. Although Mr. Patel is President Trump's nominee to the FBI, to be the FBI director, he is still a private citizen with no role in government. Now, Durbin, whose letter was first reported by the New York Times, described a meeting the day before Patel's confirmation hearing where Booth said Patel and Miller were pushing for firings at the FBI, as had already occurred at the Department of Justice. They say contemporaneous notes from that morning, that meeting they had, they say KP wants movement at FBI. This is what the note said. KP wants movement at FBI, reciprocal actions for DOJ, and an apparent reference to Patel's initials. Okay, now in a social media post, Erica Knight, a spokesperson for Patel, did not directly address Durbin's letter, but decided what she described. She decried what she described as a false narrative, saying Kash Patel is a highly qualified national security expert who has been fully transparent with the American people throughout this process and has demonstrated the integrity and leadership needed for the role. The Senate should confirm him without any delay. Now, Durbin noted that during Patel's confirmation hearing on January the 30th, Senator Cory Booker asked Patel if he was aware of any plans or discussions, in any way to punish in any way, including termination of FBI agents or personnel associated with Trump's investigations. Yes or no? Patel answered that he was not aware of that. Okay, he added that, I don't know what's going on right now over there, but I'm committed to you, Senator, and your colleagues, that I will honor the internal review process of the FBI. Now, Patel also stated in the hearing, all FBI employees will be protected against political retribution. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think that they're doing exactly what they're implying, that Trump's out here trying to get people fired, okay? That Trump's out here trying to get people fired who went against him in any way, because you already know that's what he said he was going to do, okay? That's what he already said he was going to do. This is all nefarious. Hold on. Wavy though says this is all corruption across the board. They're basically just trying to say this group is doing more bad things than this group, and none of the groups should be doing bad things. Exactly. They're both corrupt. That's what I told you guys. I've been telling you all that forever. Now, the following day, acting FBI Director Brian Driscoll sent a memo to the entire FBI workforce saying that he had been ordered to remove 8 senior FBI executives by both, who previously worked as Trump's defense lawyer. Driscoll also said that he was told to turn over the names of every FBI employee involved in investigating January the 6th rioters, a number believed to be in the thousands. So Driscoll refused a Justice Department order that he assist in the firing of agents involved in January the 6th riot cases, pushing back so forcefully that some FBI agents or officials feared that he would be dismissed. Multiple current and former FBI officials previously gave this information to NBC News. Now, they say the Trump administration has also asked the FBI's field offices and headquarters to justify the continued employment of 3,600 Bureau employees, roughly 10% of the FBI's workforce, and now who joined the Bureau recently and as a result are on probationary status. Now, the FBI Agents Association, a group that reports agents but is not a union, said that special agents on probation have already undergone extensive training at the FBI Academy in Quantico. Now, they say the agents are already working on active investigations and mass dismissals could disrupt them. I mean, like, is Trump thinking this through? Because, of course, these people are already working on cases. So if you fire all of them, what's going to happen to all those cases? This is all crazy. So in an interview with NBC News, Natalie Barra, the president of the FBI Agents Association, said that it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to train an agent from their initial application to their graduation from Quantico. Now, Barra said the Bureau needs to add 80 to 1,000 special agents each year to replace retiring special agents. So mass firings would impact the Bureau for years. Now, it doesn't make any sense to turn around and fire or dismiss agents who have already been through this process, Barra says. The Senate Judiciary Committee is scheduled to vote on Patel's nomination on Thursday. Now, it's unclear whether Durbin's perjury claim will have an impact on Republican senators who have so far uniformly defended Patel. In his nomination, if his nomination is approved by the committee, the full Senate will vote on whether to confirm Patel to a 10-year term as FBI director. Trump is out here getting his payback on his political enemies. And like I told you guys the other day, and I still believe that Elon Musk is doing all of this stuff, finding out all of this information, that this stuff that he's deeming as wasteful spending, okay, as the other guy called it, spending corn with a P. At the end of the day, he's doing this, in my opinion, because these people have been investigating him. Not just to put the public on notice, or just to tell us, that they're spending our tax money on bullshit, because we already knew that they were doing that when we found out they were sending hundreds of billions over to Ukraine and other foreign entities. We already knew they were doing that. But the thing is, Elon's not doing this for our benefit. In my opinion, he's doing it for his own. Okay? He's doing it for his own, and it is absolutely a conflict of interest. And the fact that he has these little young people that he's claiming are experts, these are not experts. They haven't been on this earth long enough to be deemed as experts in anything. Okay, 25, 22, 19, 23, 24, and 21. Experts in what? Okay, to be an expert, you have to have studied something for at least about 5 years, as far as I'm concerned. And they haven't been there working for Doge in enough time to be experts at anything. And quite frankly, I don't trust them. Okay, I don't trust them. Yeah, that's right. The Inkwell says expert hackers. Exactly. That's what they are. Okay, Claudette says still wet behind the ears. Yes. RG Titan said they're a bunch of yes people for Elon Musk. Exactly. OG Patrice said the same thing, said Queen, they're probably hackers. Yeah, that's all they are. That's all they are. They have no expertise. Okay. And let's look at them again. Let's look at them again. These are the people that he's hiring. Do you see anyone that looks like me? Of course you don't. Of course you don't. I just want y'all to pay attention, okay? Peep game is all I'm saying. Anyway, with that all being said, it is what it is, honey. Now, did you all happen to know that there was a Karen who during the Super Bowl had a whole voodoo doll of Patrick Mahomes? Did y'all see that video? This lady's out here with a whole voodoo doll. TC Dan said they're barely adults. Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. Truth Brown said, yeah, they're hackers. They absolutely are. That's all they could be. Ha! The Inkwell said probably Mensa candidates. Okay. Oh, I absolutely cannot. Let me go to this video of this voodoo doll, honey, because what was Karen thinking? I absolutely cannot. I absolutely cannot. TC Dan said, Queen, the nefariousness never ends, it seems. It doesn't, honey, okay? It doesn't. I mean, out here with a whole voodoo doll at the game. Anyway, now let's talk about this teacher who got impregnated by her 13-year-old student. And she said that she needs to have the charges dropped because at the end of the day, he's the one that instigated this whole scenario. This is what she says. Let's get into it. Like, so everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Counsel starting the state.
Derek Kelly for the state.
Your Honor, good morning. Police Court, John Thomas, Florida County. And we have the matter off for both first appearance and detention hearing. Don't be able to address first appearance.
Judge, we can mark first appearance waived. I had a chance to talk to Laura a number of times before today. She understands the charges, understands the rights.
All right, the court marks first appearance as complete, having been waived by counsel. With regard to the detention hearing, the state's directed proceed.
Yes, Judge, thank you.
And Mr. Thompson, the state may left his proof on probable cause.
Your Honor, just for purposes of this hearing, we'll stipulate the probable cause.
All right, so limited to today's hearing only, there's a stipulation of probable cause, let the record reflect that the court did receive and review in advance of today's hearing the complaint warrant package, including the affidavit of probable cause, which I marked as S1, as well as a PSA that was run on January 18th at 8:52 a.m. that I have marked as S2. Ms. Taylor will hear from the state with regard to its motion for detention, understanding even though there's a stipulation of probable cause, true to one element, some of the underlying facts to bring to record.
Thank you, Judge. It's the state's position that there's no amount of monetary bail, non-monetary conditions, or a combination of the two that would reasonably assure the defendant's appearance in court when required, the protection of the safety of any other person or the community.
I have the defendant in the room, look at the appearance.
Okay, so y'all hear that? Now listen to this. Actually, it's the young man who wants her charges dropped because he said that he instigated this whole thing. Okay, ex-student who got New Jersey teacher pregnant at 13 wants her charges dropped and wants to be a family. This is all nefarious. Now, here's what they say. So, a New Jersey teenager who was just 13 when he allegedly fathered a baby with his former teacher is speaking out and insisting that the sexual relationship was his idea. The teen insists that Laura Corrin should not be facing charges in hopes that they will someday be a family. He says they need to drop all the charges. Okay, now he's 19 years old at this point. He says, I wasn't groomed or raped or manipulated by her. She never initiated anything. It goes on to say, I started everything. If it was up to me, she wouldn't have been in jail. It's been 6 or 7 years. I'm 19, about to be 20. Prosecutors disagree and have charged the 34-year-old teacher with aggravated sexual assault, okay, and endangering the welfare of a child. She faces more than 10 years behind bars. I hope she gets every damn day of it. Now, the legal age of consent in New Jersey is 16, and it's also illegal for teachers to have anyone with a duty of care over children to have relations with those minors of any age, okay? Now, Corrin was a 5th grade teacher at Middle Township Elementary School, #2 in the Southern New Jersey district, or Southern New Jersey, when she got pregnant. She was in her late 20s when she gave birth in 2019. The infant's paternity remained a mystery until the teen's father, the baby's grandfather, pointed out the uncanny similarity between Karen's daughter, himself, and his son on a Facebook post in December of 2024. Authorities soon began to investigate and concluded that the boy was actually the father. Corin first met her alleged victim when she taught him in elementary school. The boy's family remained close with Corin even after she was no longer his teacher. His parents allegedly allowed their 2 sons and daughter to sleep over at Corin's house a couple of nights a week. See, this is why I blame the parents. Why the hell are your children spending the night over this woman's house? I don't care if she's their teacher. Why would this woman want your children to be spending the night at their house? First of all, that's inappropriate. Okay, that's definitely inappropriate. No children should be spending time with their teachers outside of the school, unless that teacher is a coach or something like that, picking them up for a game or dropping them off. But other than that, why would you have your children sleeping over this woman's house? Okay, this is all so stupid. But hold on, let's continue. So goes on to say that they would sleep over at Corin's house a couple of nights a week. The 3 siblings even lived permanently with Corin between 2016 and 2020, sharing a bedroom. So this is some sorry-ass parents who really weren't taking proper care of their kids. That's what it sounds like. Okay, because why were they living with her permanently at any point? Authorities say that the teen was living under Laura Corin's roof when the sexual relationship began, and he was barely a teenager at the time of the conception. The boy's sister told prosecutors that she remembered going to sleep with her brother in the same room, but woke up to find him sleeping in Corin's bed. She claimed Corin began sleeping in bed with her brother when he was 11 years old. This is all sick, okay? This is all sick. And this poor fool who's now 19 years old is sitting there saying, oh, it was my idea. She didn't manipulate me. I was the one who instigated. Child, you are 11 years old. How did you instigate any damn thing? Of course you were groomed. Of course you were assaulted. Of course you were raped. This is all sad. Investigators, this is Stockholm Syndrome. He's protecting his abuser and doesn't even realize it. Investigators also said that the teen's brother had once witnessed Corin actually assaulting the alleged victim while he was sleeping. Now, while the charges are pending, Corin is prohibited from contacting the teenager. Okay, he told the DailyMail.com that he has not been able to visit with his daughter since Corin's January 15th arrest. I can't talk to them, he says. I wish I could, but I can't. And it all sucks. The teen who blamed his father for the investigation said Corin was actually a positive influence in his life. I love her with all my heart. He said he was there. She was there for me and my family. Well, of course you love her with all your heart. You've been groomed by her. Okay, this is all sad, honey. I blame the parents for this one. I blame the parents because why the hell did they have their kids over there living with this woman? Okay, they don't know her like this. This is all crazy. This is all crazy. Vince I. Said sounds like the parents were pimping out their own children, allegedly. You know, I just think they were stupid. Yeah, Dark Titan said, yes, definitely in Stockholm Syndrome. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Sitting up here defending this woman and blaming himself. You were 11 years old. You didn't even know what you wanted for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, little boy. Okay, and then talking about you were the one that initiated. No, you weren't. There's nothing that an 11-year-old child can do to a grown person to initiate any sort of sexual contact. That's the grown person who knows better and knows exactly what they're doing. And they absolutely were grooming that. She absolutely was grooming that boy. This is all sad, honey. End of the day. And, you know, she's probably going to get away with it because she's caring. Because she's caring. I want you all to pay attention. So anyway, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Did you all hear about FBI arrested Boston councilman in alleged kickback scheme? Did y'all hear about that? Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Yes, Witty T, it is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And the parents are disgusting for even allowing this to happen. I don't care what their sorry excuse is.
Anderson is seen being arrested by the FBI. The 45-year-old two-term city councilor for District 7 is facing a 6-count indictment for allegedly receiving cash in a kickback scheme, which involves giving a staff member a large bonus.
That supersized bonus came with a hitch.
That staff member is a family member, according to federal law enforcement. City councilors are not permitted to hire relatives. Fernandez Anderson allegedly lied about it in an email announcing the hire to another city employee, writing, "For the record, blank is not related to me." As for the $7,000 kickback, federal authorities say the exchange happened in a bathroom at Boston City Hall.
When they met inside that bathroom, Ms. Fernandez-Anderson put $7,000 in cash in her pocket.
It's like deja vu all over again. Another Boston City councilor is accused of embracing a culture of cashing in at the expense of the public good.
Late Boston City Councilor Chuck Turner, who also represented District 7, served 28 months in prison for accepting a bribe and lying to federal agents. Boston City Councilor Tanya Fernandez and
What do y'all have to say about that? This is all crazy, okay? All crazy. These people continue to engage in corruption and think they're going to get away with it. Now, mind you, that was an old story. It was posted yesterday on Instagram, but I never heard about it until now. Okay, but that happened a couple of years ago. But I'm just like, these politicians, they're not to be trusted. They all do nefarious things, okay, as far as I'm concerned. Well, I'm not going to say all, but many, most of them do nefarious things. And this is why they can't be trusted. Truth Bride said, Queen, did you hear about the two-way church cult they busted? It's a huge ring. No, I didn't. I didn't, beloved, but thank you, because I'll look into it. Okay, I'll look into it. Teron said, they go after us for pennies, but let their own slide for millions. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, absolutely. Goodness Rated Bo said, you're not allowed to have cameras in bathrooms. Well, I didn't think you were allowed to, but it looks like these people do whatever they want. Queen Sam says, investigation drop on New York City mayor. Dan said, there's a lot of church corruption. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so anyway, with that all been said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Everyone, please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so anyway, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Hey, yo, Nick, hit him with that gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got